Gimme that number 10.
Ethan, it's time for our top.
That's crazy.
This is where most lists start.
That's crazy.
This is where our list.
And we've already been going, 3 hours now?
Only an hour and 15.
Wow, we're pushing
short.
5 hours already. Pretty sick.
My number 10 is the biggest movie of the year. I think that's a fact. Avengers Endgame.
Made the top 10.
Made the top 10.
Whew. This
movie is a fucking journey. We've been traveling through the MCU for 12 years at this point? In a year of conclusions for some of the most important names in pop culture.
You're talking Star Wars. You're talking Game of Thrones. You're talking Cats.
Not talking about Cats. This was the only one to stick the landing, and this thing got a fucking perfect 10 out of 10 landing. I don't know how gymnastics landings actually work, or scoring in gymnastics at all.
Keep the analogy going, though. It's
you're bringing back Thanos, who's the best villain to ever grace the screens of an MCU movie, after he won in Infinity War, and his story is so quickly brought to an end, and then you realize that I feel like I can spoil this movie. Everyone fucking saw this movie. He's so quickly defeated that this was the second moment this year this was the first time I had this moment where I was just like, I don't know where this is going to go, because we just killed Thanos. And then you realize that you have to go and deal with the outfall of Infinity War and what it looks like when half the population dies, and somehow Avengers, a Marvel movie, is able to handle that something of that scale. And then it has the greatest final battle maybe ever. I don't even know. Is that too hyperbolic to say? It's so fucking epic, but this epic battle at the end is so perfect, and somehow, you were talking about Knives Out has a big ensemble cast of 10 people. This has 50 heroes it has to give at least some screen time to, and everybody gets something. Even little side characters from the smallest Marvel movies.
Rene Russo has 10 lines of dialogue.
Insane. And you also get the greatest superhero moment ever on screen when Captain
the
America
Hulk hands
wields
Ant-Man a taco.
No.
Oh.
But that is also a very good scene. When Captain America wields Thor's hammer, and he has this giant moment right after his fight with Thor where everyone's come through the portals, and he could have had what you would expected, where he screams Avengers Assembles, but he just whispers it, and everybody charges forward, and Thanos sends his army, and it's fucking epic. And the experience of seeing this movie on opening day, people are literally cheering in the audience. It's the most full theater experience you could ever have. And I loved it. And it's also able to deal with real, it opens up with the death of Hawkeye's family. And it fucking nails that. That's a real emotional beat that lands in a Marvel movie. It's not just big popcorn stuff. It's the conversation between Black Widow and Captain America about why are we the ones who survived. It's survivor's guilt that a Marvel movie is dealing with. And it's just crazy. I can't believe the things that Avengers is able to handle.
So,
and not just handle, but successfully do. Sorry, you can go. I love this movie.
I think you can tell some of the differences between David and I quite clearly. Because while David's 10th film of the year was Avengers Endgame, mine was Terrence Malick's A Hidden Life.
Yeah.
So just kind of a little different.
A little different.
This is all about a man named Franz, who is a conscientious objector, who refuses to pledge loyalty to Hitler or fight for the Nazis.
Sounds like Captain America. Am I right? I'm just joking. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay. So this is a.
That was
this
pretty good,
one.
though, right?
This is hands down the most beautiful film on my list. and just in terms of like raw beauty. There are other films that obviously I liked more because this is only number 10, but in terms of like, I was just amazed this whole time. This 3-hour long epic that balances the intimate character work and these kind of grand scale of these gorgeous, gorgeous shots of Austria. It's really, really good. It's not for everyone. I saw this on the big screen, and if I didn't see it on the big screen, I wouldn't have liked it as much, because this is a jaw-droppingly gorgeous film. Really, really, really good. Also, my boy's back. It's Franz Rakowski. He's back. Escaping fascism twice. He does it. He's a hero.
I did really want to see Hidden Life. I was almost going to go see that with you. It's just 3 hours, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that.
David, can you just... How many times did you see The Irishman this year?
Speaking of The Irishman...
Is it really?
My number 9 is Martin Scorsese's magnus opus.
Oh, that was perfect. Holy shit.
The Irishman.
That's so good.
Starring the big three on screen for the first time, all in Oscar-worthy performances. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci.
Jesse Plemons.
Joe Pesci. But, I mean, really, if you want to keep going, Harvey Keitel, Ray Romano, Bobby Cannavale, Stephen Graham. Like, the list goes on. It's a who's who of Italian actors. And this is really only a movie that I think Martin Scorsese could make at the age that he is, because it's very much so like Godfather while also being the complete opposite of The Godfather. You know? It is a movie that deals with no. Well, I don't know. It's a movie that deals with the gangster lifestyle, but unlike Goodfellas, which you enjoyed that, you know, a little bit. You enjoyed the gangster life in Goodfellas a little bit. Here, the violence is not exciting to watch. Nothing is really like fun, and you see the actual consequences throughout the entire movie, where Scorsese shows you how basically every single character dies, with little text on screen, that this is not fun, even though it's what the decisions that these people are making. It's also dealing with something that Scorsese's been handling two topics for his entire career: the gangster lifestyle and religion. And this movie is a culmination of both of those ideas put on screen, because so much of this movie is kind of dealing with Robert De Niro's character, about the actions that he took and how it's led him to where he is in life, and how the only thing he really has left now is his memories and God. And it's also got the whole de-aging thing, which I'm not the biggest fan of in the movie. It doesn't negatively impact it at all. Some of the shots were really good. Some of them weren't that great, I thought. But overall, this is a epic sized movie that also, I mean, it also deals with Jimmy Hoffa and his life, and very interesting. The first time I watched it, I kind of just sat with it for a few minutes, like immediately after finishing it at home, because it's another Netflix movie. And I thought that A, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but B, that it was just, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I knew I liked it. I knew I was impressed with some of it. And I knew some of the scenes really landed with me, but there's just so much going on, and I needed that second viewing to really figure out my feelings for it. And I gotta say, seeing it a second time and knowing the strokes that it's gonna take, I think it works a lot better that second time.
Okay.
There's also things you catch on that Scorsese sets up earlier in the movie that eventually pay off better.
I hear you paint houses.
Yeah.
David, my number 9 is a movie that I was exhausted walking into.
Before you say your number 9, we have still not had a single duplicate movie.
No, that's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
My number 9, right, So
Yeah.
I was exhausted walking into this movie. You know, I had just had a super long day at work. It was 2:30 a.m. when I started this film. And I was like, I'm exhausted. I'm starving. So I went and got a pizza from a gas station because that was the only thing that was open. Ooh. All right, so I had
G Station Pizza.
It's Quick Trip. So, this episode is sponsored by Quick Trip. They're breaking into film this year, 2020. Quick Trip's first feature.
They replaced all red boxes with their own special Quick Trip box.
Yeah.
Where you can only rent DVDs and VHS.
It's called Quick Flicks. So
bro, great fucking name.
Right? I really did it. So I was exhausted walking in. I had this big old greasy gas station pizza, and that set me up perfectly for the Safdie's brother film, Uncut Gems. My God. This is such a stressful, claustrophobic film. Your main character Howard, as who's this like just completely slimy, like jeweler, as portrayed in the best acting of his entire life, Adam Sandler. This film stressed me out. Like I was sweating during this film. And possibly it's because I was eating a big old gas station pizza, but I like to think that it was also because this fucking film, it just has a layer of grease over it. You know what I mean? It is a dirty, just salty film.
It's an unrefined film, yeah.
It's like an uncut gem. You have a great supporting cast. Some big surprises for a really impressive supporting cast. You have Judd Hirsch. You have Elsa. You got Elsa from the Frozen movies. You got Lakeith Stanfield. You have Kevin Garnett, his wife. That's Elsa.
Really?
Yeah. It's so
you
good.
Got The Weeknd.
Well, I mean, yeah. This was really, really good. And it's not. It's one of those movies where it's not just one bad decision. It's like every chance there's a decision to be made, you're like, you fucking idiot, stop it. You just want to grab him and shake him, but you don't want to touch him because he's gonna be full of grease. He's a real slime ball.
I touch him.
Okay.
Was that your number 9?
That was my number 9.
The solid pick. Still really low though.
Okay.
Really low.
If it's your number 8, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
My number 8, I'm trying to figure out the way to say this.
Just say it's Uncut Gems. If it's Uncut Gems, you fuck.
No, it's not. Similar to Uncut Gems, how Uncut Gems
it's about Adam Sandler as a diamond jeweler.
As a jeweler. It's Gems Uncut, though? Have you heard of this one?
It's
at least that's what the title says.
Gemas.
No, this movie couldn't be any further, though, from Uncut Gems, except for the same thing that it has a performance of a lifetime. But that performance is from Awkwafina, because my number 8 is The Farewell from Lulu Wang. But this tells the true story of Lulu Wang's actual grandmother and the lie that their family told to her when she was diagnosed with lung cancer.
You know, they have a saying in China, when you get cancer, you die.
Yes, and that is one of the biggest surprises about this movie is that it's dealing with such a heavy topic, but yet it's still so funny. Like, this movie is fucking hilarious. It's also, though, at the same time, extremely sad. Like, you'll cry, and then you'll be laughing, and then you'll be, like, crying while laughing, and then you just get tears in your mouth, and you're like, what's going on?
Huh? What? Wait, what? You start gurgling it? You're like, oh.
Yeah. How is there so much tear juice?
Tear juice! Whoa! Hey, David, I'm going to be honest. This is our best review yet.
But it also has... I don't know if I want to say my favorite performance of the year because it's not. That's very much so hyperbole. But
one of
Nai is my most loved and adored.
Oh yeah, top grandma in any film ever.
No, more than just top grandma, top top person.
Oh.
I literally love her, and everything she says and does is just so perfect, and it just like it's so reminiscent of like it reminds me very much so of my grandmother, and I just it tore me apart on the second viewing. The first viewing I was in theater, and you know it's a little weird to cry in a sold out house, but at home you can just let those tears roll, and that's what I did, and I love this movie. It pains me to not put it higher because. Like, this is starting to get to the point of the list where it's like, I have such a strong connection to these movies.
That, for me, that started at number 30.
Honorable mention number 3. I mean, I really, really fucking love all the other ones. But this one, like, this has, like, a piece of my soul in this movie. You know? Ethan, what's your number 8?
My number 8? I think you mean my number 19. My number... 17? My number 1917. Hey.
Are you fucking
My number
kidding?
8 is 1917. It's the Sam Mendes film 1917. This is a spectacular technical achievement. It is a World War I film all about the trenches. Basically, these two gentlemen are given this impossible mission where they have to go across no man's land and like through so much occupied territory to let them know that there's a trap, right? And they have no idea what's ahead of them. It's just two guys. There's no backup. And if they slow down for too long, 1,600 men are going to die. And so it's told in one take.
So fucking
which
crazy.
is insane. You have a fantastic cast reigning out. Obviously, George McKay up top. You also have Mark Strong, Andrew Scott, Richard Madden, Colin Firth, Benedict Cumberbatch. So good. It's so good. Roger Deakins killing it with that cinematography. Holy shit. Sam Mendes doing the absolute most to make a movie. You know, it's just like...
Yeah. It's insane.
I don't know. I think Sam Mendes might hate himself because just like the amount of work that he had to like go through.
He makes it so difficult.
This movie, god damn, they really made it hard for them to make a movie, huh? But it pays off. It really shows. It is absolutely stunning. Watching it on the big screen, I watched this in Dolby. Holy shit.
So good.
Busted a nut.
I'm going again tonight.
For 2 hours. Just a continuous stream.
It was a fucking mess.
It was
in
disgusting.
row E. Let me tell you, like from E to D to C, all just covered because it was pouring down like a waterfall in the movie.
Yeah, God, really, really good. Cinematography out of this world. Roger Deakins is literally a god.
My number 7 is another Netflix original movie from writer-director Noah Baumbach. And that is Marriage Story.
Someone to hold you real close to put you through hell. Being alive. Now, Bobby. That's a part from the movie.
Yes, it is. This tells the story of Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, a married couple. It follows their marriage
Story
at the point of their marriage at the point of them getting a divorce. And this feels like it might be the most personal movie of the year, where it almost doesn't even feel like a movie. It feels like somehow a camera ended up in these rooms to capture these moments of these two people interacting, because it just feels so raw and like it's weird to even explain. But I don't know if you had the same feeling watching this movie, but that's how it felt to me. It did not feel like a scripted movie, even though from everything I've heard about this movie, that they stuck to the script word for word. They did not. There was no improv.
Right.
And it's just.
It didn't feel like it wasn't. The fact that it felt like it wasn't scripted just shows you how good the script was.
Yeah.
Like, Noah Baumbach, he can fuck up a script. In a good way, not like.
Yeah, I was like, that's a weird way to put it. It's a fucking disastrous script. It just displays it in such a sad way where you can see what each person who's actually going through the divorce once, but as these third parties get involved, the divorce lawyers, it just completely morphs everything that they're going through, and it makes it turns into such like this gross monster. And it's almost like you can see the car accident happening, but you can't stop it. Mm-hmm. And it hurts to fucking watch this thing. Like, because you just want them to not be to be acting like this, or to be going through this, or to be feeling these ways, and you can't stop it. It's going to eventually find its natural destination. Really really good scenes with I forget the person who comes in to oversee the dinner with Adam Driver and their kid. That scene, that entire scene is just, it's like the one moment where this movie's also pretty funny. Like, there's a whole thing with Adam Driver getting served and how that's gonna work. That movie, that scene fucking cracks me up. So it almost kind of juggles the sadness that they're going through and the humor that's kind of naturally baked into the pie of Farewell. Like they're so similar in that sense. Did that make any fucking sense, or did I just trip over every single word?
You are right that they're pretty similar in the fact that The Farewell is my number 7.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Really?
Hey, it's our first crossover.
Did you?
We made it to number 7. We made it over halfway through the list before a crossover. That's crazy. That's so cool. The Farewell. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It is, Lulu Wang as a directorial debut, insane. I love this film so much. Awkwafina is my queen. Nene is my queen. Some of the most stressful parts of this film, or like the most dramatic, is when you think a secret's going to get let out, and you're like, no, this is the worst way you can tell the truth, so just keep lying. And that's where it kind of all settles in, So throughout the film, you see, rather than saying like, oh, we should lie, it's like, well, if we don't lie, this is going to be worse. And that's how it kind of gives you that other side of the story, because your main character is like, what if she wants to say goodbye? Shouldn't she have that option? Are we just going to not let her know of what's going on? It's really, really, really good. Oh, poor Billy.
Yep.
Young little Billy just wants to have a good time with Night.
My number 6 is from the sophomore debut from writer-director Ari Aster. That's Midsummer. This is a horror movie that takes place in Sweden during the Midsummer Festival, starring Florence Pugh, who is just having a fucking phenomenal year.
I'm talking Little Women. I'm talking Fighting with My Family. I'm talking the trailer for Black Widow.
And all roles are so vastly different. It's actually kind of insane. And apparently, she came straight from the last day of shooting Midsummer and went to the first day of shooting Little Women the next day.
Yeah, that's a crazy change of energy.
I don't know how you do that, because they're so fucking different. They're actual complete opposites. Midsummer, similar to Marriage Story, I guess. Deals with
starts with an M.
Deals with a couple going through a breakup, and where Marriage Story takes it in a realistic way, Midsummer takes it in a horrifying way. And things go down at this festival that they did not expect, and it's really good. It also plays with daylight, which is a trope that you see coming up, semi often in horror films, where they actually use the inclusion of light and sunlight and brightness to kind of make you think that stuff is safe when nothing is safe. Really, again, also, it's like a weird combination with this horror movie where it's also fucking hilarious. And Will Poulter is the king of comedy in this movie. That came out this year, right?
The king of comedy?
Yeah, king of comedy.
In a way, it did.
What did I mention? It's very similar to Joker. But Will Poulter in this movie.
Sorry, David, that was that wasn't on the head enough. Can you actually just make sure that they knew that it was Joker was the reference? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, So Will Poulter is the king of comedy in Midsummer.
Yeah.
King of comedy was a big inspiration for 2019's Joker.
Right, and in Midsummer, there's a point that right after taking a fat vape rip and taking a piss, Will Poulter looks at the camera and he says, "You get what you fucking deserve." So pretty much the same, actually.
He also is then later put into a jester costume, which is
Right.
also known as the Joker.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
David,
full circle-
if the Joker is your number one, I am going to riot.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see, won't we?
Number
Ethan,
6.
what's your number 6?
This film fucked me up a lot.
What is it?
This is Jennifer Kent's film, The Nightingale.
Oh, damn, that is high. Very, very happy to see it.
This is a brutal, brutal film. It is a revenge tale. Set in Tasmania. So you have the Aboriginals towards the tail end of their massacre that occurs to them. You have the Irish convicts that are brought over and, used as at best indentured servants, more likely just as slaves. It is... Yeah. No one escapes from this film unbroken. Every single character gets completely stripped down. It is haunting and devastating. It fucked me up a lot. Gorgeously shot.
So I think where you said Knives Out is the movie you would most easily recommend to everyone, I think this is the movie I would recommend to almost no one. Where I love this movie, but I don't know people who would actually want to watch this.
Yeah.
Unless like you're a fan of film and you're ready to go into a beating, because this movie is a beating. It's very hard to make it through this movie.
It's one that afterwards you just need to take a shower and then just have a lie down, just kind of be like, oh.
It's a tough movie to watch.
Yeah.
I talked about this. It's a fucking trek.